Hi everyone, this video is on how to view your grades and feedback on papers that you previously submitted to Turnitin. And I'm sitting here in my living room with my cat. She's making a lot of noise. She's kind of a younger cat, and she's a little wound up right now. So if you're hearing some noise in the background, that's her playing with stuff. It's also raining outside, so you might hear that too. Okay, so the first thing to do is to go to the link in Moodle where you originally submitted your paper. So that will be the link of the assignment. And then once you get into that assignment link, you should click on the tab where you expect to find your feedback. So a lot of times for my students, that's going to be maybe the initial draft, or the final draft will be where they get actual feedback, and grades will come on the final draft. So this is based on what your teacher does. You'll just need to click on that tab where you submitted. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see your name, something about your paper, and then it'll say when you submitted, and then it'll say what your similarity report is. People sometimes get a little worried if they see the number is high here for similarity report, but teachers more often are not so worried about the number as they are anything that you've put into your paper that isn't in quotation marks that was in the original document that you looked at. So if your number is high, but you have a lot of quotes in your paper, usually that's okay. You might want to go back through and paraphrase some of those quotes if you have like a high percentage of quotes, but a lot of times that doesn't mean you're plagiarizing. Only if you have a high number and it's highlighting stuff that's not in quotes in your paper. Here's the important part for your grade. You'll see some sort of number, usually around here, and then a pencil mark. And then you can see on this side of this is where you would download your original paper. And so that can also be a helpful thing to look at too. But this is your grade. Click on the pencil grade, and you'll be able to see a little bit more feedback. You'll see text comments here. A lot of times your teacher will write some overall comments, or sometimes they might put more comments in the rubric section. So if your teacher has a rubric, you click on view rubric. You can also see on this left-hand side of the paper, I haven't included much, but that's where your paper is. So when you click on view rubric, if your teacher has a rubric, you'll be able to oftentimes see some comments they might have put here, or numbers that they've given you for different aspects of the paper. And then if you go back to the page that we were just on, so the page that looks like this, and you're kind of clicking over onto that side, you'll see what is like a full version of your paper. There's lots of different colors. It can be a little bit confusing to sort out the highlighting, but a lot of times there's purple comments. Those are not usually something your teacher has put in. Those are the automatic grammar check from Turnitin. So sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not accurate. But don't think that your teacher has gone through and put in all these purple marks. That's what has been done automatically. And then you'll see this kind of pink color, sometimes highlighting some of your words, and that's any words that Turnitin has found overlap with anything else that's out on the internet or other papers that have been uploaded. And like I said, if this is in quotes, usually that doesn't mean it's plagiarized. If you have a couple of words that aren't in quotes, that's usually fine. It's when you find these like longer passages that are not in quotes that you might be running into plagiarism issues. The most important thing to look for here is actually this yellow highlighting. And this is where your teacher has highlighted part of what you've written, and then oftentimes included some sort of little text bubble here, something in a text bubble here. So you're looking for these text bubbles. And when you click on those, you'll see the comments pop up. So you can see how they've commented on certain aspects of your paper. So this can be pretty helpful if you're trying to find out how to approach your next paper. It's important to look at these in-text comments. So that's all I have for today. Be sure to ask your teacher if you have any additional questions about how to see your feedback.